In movies and TV shows, when we think of the Wild West, we often picture big, gruff, rough-and-tumble, gun-toting, whiskey-drinking men. Who hasn't heard of Wyatt Earp, Jesse James, or Billy the Kid? But tucked away in the shadow of these famous names, there were some equally fierce women who ruled the frontier with grit and determination. Facts Verse presents rare photos of the most notorious women of the Wild West. Belle Starr. Often dubbed the Bandit Queen, Belle Starr was not one to be trifled with. Raised in Missouri, she became a notorious outlaw in Indian Territory, today's Oklahoma. Known for relationships with other high-profile outlaws, Belle was deeply involved in horse stealing and bootlegging operations. Her sharpshooting skills were unmatched, and tales of her riding side saddle while firing a gun with deadly accuracy became legendary. In a world dominated by men, Belle's cunning and audacity stood out, making her a force to reckon with in the Wild West. Calamity Jane. Born Martha Jane Cannery, Calamity Jane's adventures took her everywhere from scouting for the Army to performing in Buffalo Bill's Wild West show. This free spirit was known for her wild tales, many of which she loved to embellish. Jane's marksmanship and riding skills were top-notch, and she wasn't shy about entering traditionally male domains. She could drink most men under the table and had a heart as big as the plains, often helping the sick and needy. Annie Oakley. The name Annie Oakley is synonymous with sharpshooting. Born Phoebe Ann Mosey, she began hunting at a young age to support her impoverished family and quickly became a deadeye shot. Her shooting prowess caught the attention of showman Buffalo Bill, and soon she was the star of his Wild West show. Annie's feats with a rifle and pistol are legendary, shooting glass balls in midair and even shooting the ashes off a cigarette held by her husband. Pearl Hart. Pearl Hart's journey from a mild-mannered housewife to one of the West's most infamous female bandits is one of desperation and audacity. After facing personal struggles, she turned to a life of crime. Her most famous heist was robbing a stagecoach with her partner, making her one of the few women to ever do so. Even in jail, her defiant spirit shined through, and her escape attempts became the stuff of legends. Rose Dunn. Known as the Rose of Cimarron, Rose Dunn was involved with outlaws from a young age, thanks to her brother. Her love affair with the notorious George Bitter Creek Newcomb led her deep into the world of banditry. But it's rumored that while she was infatuated with outlaws, she might have also played a role in Bitter Creek's demise. Whether as an accomplice or a betrayer, Rose's life was intertwined with the most dangerous men of her time. Eleanor Dumont. Eleanor Dumont, also known as Madame Mustache due to a streak of dark hair on her upper lip, was a force to be reckoned with in the world of gambling. This French immigrant opened some of the first gambling parlors in Nevada City and later in Deadwood, standing out in an overwhelmingly male industry. Rumor has it she was a sharp card player, and her establishments were always full of minors eager to try their luck against Madame Mustache. Lottie Deno. Gambling was a man's world, but Lottie Deno never got the memo. With a name derived from dinero, Spanish for money, Lottie's poker skills became the stuff of legends. From San Antonio to Fort Griffin, tales of her cool demeanor at the card table and ability to outplay male competitors spread like wildfire. Yet her life was not all cards. Her love story with fellow gambler Frank Thurmond reads like a classic Western romance. Charley Parkhurst. One of the most intriguing figures of the Wild West, Charley Parkhurst was known as one of the best stagecoach drivers of the time. However, after his death, it was discovered that Charley was biologically female. Having lived her life as a man, Parkhurst's story is not only one of skill, but also identity. Her marksmanship and horsemanship were unparalleled, and she even reportedly killed the famous bandit Sugarfoot after he robbed her coach. Kate Warne. Kate Warne holds the title of the first female detective in the U.S., working for the famous Pinkerton Agency. While she might not fit the typical image of a Wild West woman, Her exploits were legendary, from undercover operations to playing a pivotal role in foiling an assassination plot against Abraham Lincoln. Kate's wit and courage were her greatest weapons. Big Nose Kate. Born as Mary Catherine Horney, Big Nose Kate was best known for her turbulent relationship with the famed Doc Holliday. But Kate was much more than just an outlaw's companion. Independent and fiery, she worked in various saloons and was never one to back down from a fight. Her adventures across the West, from Wichita to Tombstone, were filled with drama and danger, proving she was every bit as formidable as the men of her era. Laura Bullion. A member of the notorious Wild Bunch, Laura Bullion was deeply involved in the world of crime from a young age. Known as Rose of the Wild Bunch, Laura was a master at fencing stolen goods and played a key role in several robberies alongside outlaws like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Despite facing multiple arrests, her cunning allowed her to outwit the law on numerous occasions, making her one of the most successful female criminals of the era. Cattle Kate. Ellen Liddy Watson, better known as Cattle Kate, was an ambitious woman in the cattle business, a field dominated by men. Contrary to her nickname, she wasn't an outlaw, but rather a victim of land disputes. Her determination to succeed and stake her claim in the rough terrains of Wyoming showcased her strength and resilience. Kate's tragic end, as a result of cattle baron conflicts, speaks to the lawlessness and challenges of the Wild West. Mary Fields. Standing at over 6 feet tall and weighing around 200 pounds, Mary Fields, often referred to as Stagecoach Mary, was a formidable figure. As the first African-American woman star route mail carrier in the U.S., she delivered mail in Montana with a unique blend of grit and compassion. Mary was known to carry a shotgun and revolver, ensuring her mail deliveries were never late, regardless of the weather or potential threats. Etta Place. While much of Etta Place's life remains shrouded in mystery, her association with the Wild Bunch is well documented. Known for her beauty and intelligence, Etta was romantically linked to the Sundance Kid. She was more than just a companion. Etta was involved in several of the gang's heists and was equally adept at evading the law, disappearing into history without a trace. Sally Skull. Sally Skull was a horse trader, rancher, and reputed outlaw with a fiery temper. With her signature style of riding astride rather than side saddle, she was known for her expert shooting and horse riding skills. Sally was a woman who didn't conform to the norms of her time. Married 5 times, it's rumored she might have had a hand in the disappearance of a few of her husbands. Poker Alice. Born Alice Ivers, Poker Alice was a professional gambler with a penchant for cigars, liquor, and of course poker. With her sharp mind and wit, Alice won thousands of dollars across the West, often besting male players. Outside the card games, she also operated her own gambling house and wasn't one to shy away from using her gun when things got out of hand. Biddy Mason. Biddy Mason's journey from being a slave to being one of the wealthiest women in Los Angeles is nothing short of incredible. After securing her freedom, Biddy became a renowned nurse and midwife. Later, her smart real estate investments made her one of the richest African-American women in the West. Beyond her personal success, she was also known for her philanthropy, assisting various causes in her community. Now it's time to hear from you. Which of these women were you aware of already? Which of them were new to you? Let us know in the comments section below.